We're going to start, though, with that industrial plant explosion that burned for hours upon hours in Montgomery County, displacing dozens of families and forcing school closures. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington. It started about 9:30 last night and sparked again late this morning, prompting evacuations in the immediate vicinity of the plant SPS Technologies. Let's show you where the voluntary evacuation orders are in effect tonight. We will have more on those who have opted to leave their homes in just a bit. We'll do that in a few minutes. But first, let's begin with a report from CBS Philadelphia's Carrie Corrado. She has more on the work being done now to make sure this once massive industrial fire stays in check. Carrie, good evening.
Yuki, good evening. This has been a long multi-agency firefight that has been going on for over 24 hours. As firefighters work to contain that fire, officials are checking the air and water quality, and they're constantly monitoring it. Tuesday night, the fire at SPS Technologies continues to smolder in Abington Township. It's been a long, tough stretch for firefighters as they battle the stubborn flames. The weather also not helping the situation. Low temperatures caused icy conditions, and the wind was pushing the water as it was being dumped on the flames.
When you look at the size of this building, some 500,000 square feet and multi-layers, the difficulty to access our firefighters out in that weather and with equipment, it's very difficult for them to completely extinguish this fire.
The fire started Monday night around 9:30. Police say 60 employees were evacuated at the time of the fire. Police say by Tuesday morning, firefighters dealt with another flare-up at the site. Nearly 70 fire companies were on scene, many volunteer. In the meantime, Montgomery County officials issued a voluntary evacuation notice for residents and businesses in a 5-block radius based on changing fire conditions and air quality concerns. They say this decision was not made lightly. The Cheltenham High School auditorium is being used as an evacuation center. Cheltenham, Jenkintown, and Abington school districts are closed on Wednesday. Police are asking the community to stay away from the area.
After consulting with Hazmat and the DEP and the EPA, we thought it would be prudent, using their advice and the incident command system with everybody at the table, that we would have a voluntary evacuation of a 5-block radius.
SPS Technologies uses a chemical process to manufacture equipment for the aerospace industry. Firefighters work to keep the flames away from those chemicals, and a chemist was brought in to help first responders. Hazmat teams from Montgomery, Chester, Bucks County, and Delaware County were on site.
The hazmat teams and the DEP are continuing to do air quality tests. So far, all of those have been coming back positive for us.
And fire investigators have to wait until the fire is completely under control until they can begin their investigation into how it all started. Yuki, back to you.
Carrie, thank you so much. Abington Township residents continue to worry about air quality issues since the explosion and fire, and rightly so. CBS Philadelphia's Alicia Roberts has that part of our coverage tonight.
Abington Township residents remain concerned about the potential for chemicals in the air as a shelter-in-place continues for neighborhoods within 1 mile of the SPS site.
I was watching TV and all of a sudden I heard this boom and my whole building shook.
Jean Smalls is one of thousands who stayed inside for most of the day Tuesday.
I was more concerned truly about the air quality. And see, I'm feeling it already.
Meantime, for roughly 700 people who live and work closest to the plant, township officials issued a voluntary evacuation while conditions permit for air quality concerns. Emergency responders could be seen going door to door advising people of the notice.
It actually called my wife's phone and the house and told us we have an hour to leave.
Charles Brown and his family are one of many who evacuated.
We just kind of waiting to see what's next, because my house is, like I said, my house is the first house on the block right next to the factory.
The auditorium behind me here at Cheltenham High School is now serving as an evacuation shelter. The Red Cross is on scene and says there are 150 cots available, along with food and water. The goal is to give those who needed to get out a place to go until they figure out what's next.
Suddenly, I kind of started coughing and my throat felt dry.
Carol Denny came to the high school under the advice of friends.
I'm hopeful not to stay here tonight. I don't want to. I want to go home, so I did not sign up for the cot. Of course, I still have the opportunity to do that, but I prefer to go home but I might have to do what's going to be safe. If I have to, I will.
She, like many right now, are taking it one night at a time.
It's very frightening.
Alicia Roberts, CBS News, Philadelphia.
There are many parts to this story, including any environmental fallout from the fire. Also, the now several hundred people without a place to work. We will continue to follow all angles on air and online at cbsphiladelphia.com.